Welcome to the podcast about everything. It's your boy New Jersey Preem. We gonna get right into it today. We talking about the NBA playoffs, and honestly, I really only really want to talk about Boston and Miami series because what's going on with Dallas and Golden State is crazy for real. Like I remember when the series started, I was saying like, yeah, Golden State might have problems with Dallas because they have gotten better defensively during the playoffs and shit. I feel like Jason Kidd effect on that team really helped out Luca and the rest of the guys around him. I honestly feel like uh, like Luca and the rest of the guys. I can't say are overwhelmed. I feel like he just don't have the help that he need. And it's crazy to even think about that shit because they made it this far, right? So when I look at when I look at Dallas and Golden State, it's low key kind of a mismatch. I mean, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, Golden State is old" and all that shit. Curry haven't left his prime yet. I know Clay is still working his way back from those injuries. Draymond is still one of the best defensive players in the league. He's the most important part on Golden State, if you ask me. But you can't, especially this series, and even like in the first round, you cannot discount Jordan Poole and what he's able to been do, especially with Curry on the bench in the first round, and even in this series, he's haven't been as efficient as he was in the first round, especially even in that the second series. I don't forgot who the hell they played in the second series to keep it a bean, and but even that series, you know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't as good as he was in the first two series and shit. And they still was able to make it past. I mean, in the first series, I'm sorry, they was still able to make it past and shit. So I look at Golden State versus the Mavericks as a big mismatch. The experience, the the motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, the level of play, the intensity, that sense of urgency. They all seem to have it. I think this is a good experience for Luca to make it this far into the playoffs, to really experience what it felt like when you get to this, you know what I'm saying, final round, and you know what I'm saying, you fighting for the title now, the chance to get to the title. So I look at uh, Dallas as you know, the Cinderella story, the team that wasn't supposed to get there, that ended up getting there. A lot of people was assuming it was going to be Golden State and Phoenix and shit. Some people even assumed that it would be that's who it was in the second round, Memphis. Some people even assumed that it would be Memphis versus Phoenix, but nobody really expected Dallas to get this far. So kudos to those guys. Sad that they're going to get swept in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, it's not as bad as KD and Brooklyn getting swept in the first round. Um, Luka needs shooters. He needed a true defensive stopper. I feel like a person like a PJ Tucker would have worked over perfect over there in Dallas for him and shit in that system. Even for Jason Kidd to have that person, that enforcer, you know what I'm saying. Um, but yeah, shouts to Dallas. Sorry that y'all had to go home so early, but y'all gotta get the fuck out of here. Um, but this Boston and Miami city, I was speaking to my cousin earlier and shit, and I was telling him like the East is, and in my opinion, has always been more physical than the West. Probably since like the late 2000s, pretty much after like Shaq and shit and them left over there. But the East always been way more physical and shit. Like, and this playoffs has shown it. The more physical teams, are winning these, you know what I'm saying, games in these series. With the first series between Boston and Miami, I mean Brooklyn and shit, Boston was just bullying them, yo. Like, and it's not even that they was bullying them uh uh in a dirty way. You feel me? Like they was just being super physical with them, and that's the type of basketball that I like. That's the type of basketball that people appreciate, and that's really playoff basketball. Um, Miami is the same way. Like, you know what I'm saying? The first series against Atlanta, even the second one against Miami, like they was the more physical team. They don't necessarily have to be the more talented team in the playoffs. As long as you have the proper amount of talent, like you got your Jimmy Butlers, you got the Tyler Heroes, you got your defensive person with two defensive people, really three if you think about it. Bam Adebayo, Jimmy, and PJ Tucker, and then Bam could give you 30. You know what I'm saying? Duncan Robinson gonna give you a couple threes coming off the bench. So like they don't have the superstardom, you know what I'm saying? But they got the proper amount of talent to make that team work. They play a great team defense. The only stoppers they have for real, two of them, Bam and Jimmy. They kind of count on them also for their offense. That's why they put. That's why I feel like they put PJ Tucker on the primary person most of the time. You would see him defending KD. You would see him on JT, Jason Tatum, and shit. Like you would see PJ. You know what I'm saying, doing more of that work than Jimmy and Bam. Although they can do it, it's just that they're asked to do so much on the offensive end. This series is dope to me because if you don't come playing physical basketball, you're gonna get blown the fuck out. And it's been proven. Like with these two teams, it's been proven. If you're not coming to play physically, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm high. Like they're gonna whoop your ass type shit. You know what I'm saying? And I really think that I was rooting. I'm low key a Miami Heat fan, so I was like I'm rooting for them low key. I really don't. I never in my life like Boston. People that know me know I'm a Shaq fan to the core. I followed his whole career. Whatever team he went to, I went to. But I really wasn't on no shit. Whereas though I really like, you know what I'm saying, fuck with the Celtics, but he was there, especially because it was at the end of his career. So like I was never a Celtics fan, but I definitely like this Celtics team. I like what they're bringing. I like the intensity. I like the physicality. And that, I mean, you know, Miami is the same, basically the same type of team. The only difference between, in my opinion, Miami and Boston is their superstars. You know what I'm saying? Like when Jason Tatum is the best player on the court, Boston win. When Jimmy Butler is the best player on the court, Miami win. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the playoffs normally go, especially when you're what Shaq call them the others, you know what I'm saying? Your sidekicks and shit, you know what I'm saying? The role players, especially when they do their job, it should make it easy for you to do your job. That was the issue that a lot of people was having with Brooklyn. Because, you know what I'm saying, you had people that, you know what I'm saying, everybody was worried about the role players. Like, well, if they come up, they show up. That was the issue. Like if with the role players and they showed up, it was really, you know what I'm saying, Kyrie and KD. And we gotta give credit where credit is due with Boston's defense and the game plan that they had for those two guys. But I really feel like this series with Miami and Boston, it got to go seven in my opinion. It has to go seven. Like they trading wins, they trading blowout wins. Is like whoever like you can't have an off quarter in these motherfucking playoffs against with these two teams because if you do, it's gonna end up being the 20-30 point league and you know what I'm saying, you rushing and trying your best to play hero ball to make it back and whatnot. So excuse me. So I really feel like that's going seven. I feel like the Golden State and the Dallas joint is over with. We're not rocking out with that no more. Like that shit is done. Shout out to Luca. Luca probably going to go down. You know what I'm saying? This season when it's all said and done, um, the highest points per game in the playoffs and shit. I think he might be tied with Jordan now. If not, he probably already passed him or whatever. But I'm not really. on some real shit, I'm not really focused on that series. Uh, I had slim hopes that Dallas would come out with a little bit more intensity, especially on the defensive end. Last game when they had that 19-point lead and let Golden State come back, that reminded me of what 2016 I think it was, Golden State Warriors, and when no lead was safe. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care if you was up 30 on them. If it's time left on the clock, you better keep playing the game. And I feel like that's the vibes I'm getting. Like it's low key because like I feel like Golden State, and I don't want to make the comparison because I don't think most people will understand it, but Golden State run has been like comparable to the Patriots run. Like people were tired of seeing them in the finals. Now it's been a couple years since they've been in the finals, so I guess it don't matter no more. But I think that they definitely gonna make it to the finals, and regardless of what team they play, they're gonna have the advantage. I feel like it's gonna be a tougher matchup with Boston because Boston got multiple scorers. You know what I'm saying? I think the most intriguing matchup would be, in my opinion, would be Draymond versus Al Horford. Because Al Horford has been balling these playoffs for real. And Draymond been doing his thing for real. So I can't even front on him. So I think that would be the most intriguing matchup. I want to know who's going to check JT. I want to know how they going to check Curry. You know what I'm saying? So I know they got the ball. I think it's Williams that come off the bench. I think it's Grant Williams. I'm not sure. But he was the one that you know what I'm saying was defending Giannis the most in that Bucks series with Boston. So I can see him chasing Curry around now. I don't know if he gonna have the stamina or if he got the agility to stay with Curry, but I can see them trying. Of course, Marcus Smart, but I feel like Boston is the most equipped team defensively wise, even though, and that's just based off the individuals that they have on their team. I feel like JT has shown leaps and bounds in his defensive game lately. Same thing with Jaylen Brown to a certain extent because he was getting used against Giannis. Giannis was looking for him when he was playing in that Boston series. Um, Al Horford, man, in the paint. Even the young boy Williams that come off the bench, you know what I'm saying, the big ball or whatnot. Uh, all these guys, I feel like individually can like somewhat, you know what I'm saying, match up. You can't stop Curry, Clay, Jordan Poole. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop Draymond from facilitating or just doing what Draymond does in like these type of games. Draymond is going to show up. That's one thing I respect about him. He knows his role and he plays that shit very well. Um, but like I feel like Boston, like individually, they might have the best matchups to match up with Golden State. But as a team, like playing team defense, I feel like Miami does that better than anybody in the playoffs. Now that shit can affect you. You know what I'm saying? If everybody not in their position at the right time when they're supposed to be there and all that type shit. So that like that's the tricky parts of that shit. But when you got individual stoppers, when you got a Marcus Smart defensive player of the year, when you got a Draymond Green, the former defensive player of the year, and you could put Jimmy Butler in there, you know what I'm saying, like in that conversation, you can really just say, hey, yo, go do your job on that player over there and try to neutralize what that other player is doing at the best of your ability. You know what I'm saying? I feel like coaches feel comfortable knowing that they have a guy on their team that they could just say, yo, go over there, you know what I'm saying, and slow him down for me if not stop him type shit. And uh, uh, Miami, I feel like they have that. Like PJ Tucker, uh, Jimmy, Bam. I just feel like they focus more on team defense than individual defense. And the playoffs, that's cool. That's like, you know what I'm saying, that's what you're supposed to do, but that can get you exposed if you're not properly, you know what I'm saying, in the right spots and all that shit. Like I saw they was playing a lot of zone against Boston, and you know if you playing zone against Golden State, they gonna take them jump shots. That shit not gonna. They want to take them jump shots. You know what I'm saying? So they're not gonna be afraid to stay outside around the perimeter and shoot. So if we looking at you know what I'm saying, Golden State and Miami, I feel like Golden State definitely have a major advantage on that shit. If we looking at Golden State and Boston, I don't think the advantage is that big type shit. Like, and that's the series I feel like everybody feel like that's gonna happen. That's the series that everybody want to see, in my opinion. Uh, I really wanted to see Miami get back to the finals for selfish reasons. Mainly because a lot of people didn't believe in that 2020 finals run that they got. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't I didn't like the disrespect. I respect Eric Spoelstra. You know what I'm saying? One of the best coaches in the league. I feel like he don't get enough respect too. I think he's the longest tenure coach in the league next to Pop and shit. Um, so sorry for Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Sorry that y'all had to go home. Cancun on 3. But it was a good run in my opinion. I really feel like you guys made it further than anybody expected. Lucas, of course, is a monster. Defensively, I feel like y'all got a lot better this year with J Kidd at the helm. Get some good pieces around Luca. Get some of your guys back healthy. Hardaway Jr., you know what I'm saying? Get those guys back healthy. Get you some defensive stoppers in there. Change the culture just from a running gun, just from trying to outscore people. And I feel like that's what Jason Kidd was trying to establish this year. You know what I'm saying? Just changing that culture and really just focus on, because like even when we look at the 2011, I think 2011, 12, when they won the championship against Miami, like their role players did they fucking jobs to the T. You know what I'm saying? What was I think Sean Marion was there. Uh, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd. You know what I'm saying? You had motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And the superstar, of course, was Dirk. But you had people around him that did their job that made his job easier. So when it was time for him to dominate, he was able to just go ahead and do that, especially on fresh legs. Luke is dead by the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got he barely got no lift to begin with. That's why when he got banged on by Andrew Wiggins, that shit looked so nasty and shit. But but even then, like, you know what I'm saying, you gotta have, that's why you have your defensive stoppers. That's what you have, you know what I'm saying? That's why a big man, in my opinion, is so important in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Especially an athletic big man. That's why you the people like the White Howards and I know people gonna look at me crazy when he's the first name that I bring up. But I mean like the true athletic, like just defensive, like the guys you can depend on the defensive end and grabbing those boards. Like even to a certain extent, even though he tried to play my favorite player, Shaq, Rudy Gobert, you know what I'm saying? Because he's going to grab, you know what I'm saying? He's going to get you know what I'm saying, double digits rebounds and shit like that. He gonna get you, you know what I'm saying, 2 to 3 block shots a game and shit. So that's the type of shit that I feel like Dallas is missing, man. They ain't got no real big man. Porzingis, that shit didn't work out with him and Luka, and that's cool. But now they gotta find somebody, you know what I'm saying, that's going. I don't know if it's gonna be in the draft or if it's gonna be a free agency via trade, you know what I'm saying. But they gotta find somebody, another person that could take that pressure off of Luka on the defensive end. Because I feel like in that second series against Phoenix, defensively, Luka, what was it? I think it was after maybe game 3 or 4, like after he was getting used, he stepped up. You know what I'm saying? So respect to him. But instead of putting him in that position, you know what I'm saying? Like even back in the day when you had people like Melo, uh, KD had, you know what I'm saying, Tony Allen and shit, like for a while. Like so most great scorers, you know what I'm saying, don't have to. Jordan had Pippen, uh, Kobe had, you know what I'm saying, a variety of people that can take on the best player. Even though these guys, you know what I'm saying, with their mentality would much rather take on the best player. But I feel like why, if you don't have to, you know what I'm saying, make that shit your last resort. Like LeBron didn't like defend the best player until it was, you know what I'm saying, needed. Most of the time it was in the fourth quarter of you know what I'm saying, a late series in the playoffs and shit. And that's smart because use your energy on, you know what I'm saying, on offense to get you to that lead and let them motherfuckers use that energy to try to cover that shit. So like but you like I feel like Miami, they got a great team, defense, chemistry. They can switch out a lot of shit. That's one thing I like. I feel like Boston can do that shit as well. But I just feel like Boston individually is like a tad bit better. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit better and shit than Miami, and that's going to help them out in the finals, in my opinion. So y'all know that I'm saying that Boston is going to win this series against Miami, and of course, I think we all can come to an agreement that Golden State is going to win the series against Dallas. So, in my opinion, I feel like Boston is that like the perfect team to come out the East to face Golden State right now. They can run with Golden State. They're young enough to run around with Golden State. They physical. They're not afraid. They've been through it with some of the best players. You know what I'm saying in the world. This past just this playoff alone. You know what I'm saying with KD, Giannis, and we could throw. You know what I'm saying playoff Jimmy in there because what he does in the playoffs should not be understated and shit. Like this man is amazing in the playoffs. He's a fucking beast, and he don't get enough respect for real. So like what Boston is able to do with these great players and like these great teams, you know what I'm saying? Everybody going to point to well, Kyrie wasn't this and that in the Boston series, and uh Chris Middleton got injured in what's the name series, and you know what I'm saying? Um Jimmy Butler is not fully healthy in this series, and PJ Tucker's in and out the game. This is the playoffs. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's injured. Shit is going to happen. You play who's on the fucking court. Can't use no excuse for that. So that shit is out the window because Miami had a similar role. They whipped Atlanta ass. Embiid was out for the first 3 games or first 2 games in that series and shit. And you know what I'm saying? Marcus Smart was out the first game. Al Horford was out the first game. You know what I'm saying in this series. So it's like similar roles. Like so we can't do that. Golden State. You know what I'm saying? John Morant was out for that series. Uh, Dallas with Chris Paul and Devin Booker. This the fucking playoffs. It happens. Don't dwell on that shit. Keep it pushing. This is why other players get drafted. This is why other players are getting paid hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars to play in the NBA. I don't want to hear shit. So I'm looking at who's on the court, who's playing right now. In my opinion, the best team in the East, and it's not by far. Miami is a great team. It's Boston, the best team in the West, and you seeing it right now. It is a gap. You know what I'm saying? It is a gap. The best team in the West is Golden State and shit. They definitely reclaim their throne. A lot of us feel like we wish we would have saw them versus Phoenix, just because Phoenix had, you know what I'm saying, such a great season and a great year. And that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You want to see the best team versus who you feel like is the best team, right? But at the end of the day, it's about who's playing the best basketball when it matters. You know what I'm saying? When it mattered, you know what I'm saying? Brooklyn wasn't playing the best basketball. Phoenix wasn't playing the best basketball. Philly, uh, Milwaukee, you know what I'm saying? Memphis, whoever, like they wasn't playing the best basketball. You know what I'm saying? So the teams that's supposed to be here are here. There's no asterisk. There's no excuse. Y'all guys like use the asterisk for the bubble season. Oh, don't nobody didn't nobody want to be there. Blah blah blah. Shut the fuck up. Like, there's none of that. Like this season is one of the best seasons of sports. Like this past season of football. You know what I'm saying? This season of basketball is one of the best seasons of sports. We see a lot of young players, a lot of young people being able to be in that light that people that we've been watching our whole life has been occupying and shit. You know what I'm saying? With the LeBrons, the KDs, the Tom Brady's. You know what I'm saying? Even though Matt Stafford is a vet, he never set in that light before. You know what I'm saying? So I think this year, you know what I'm saying, especially in basketball, for you to see so many young people, you know what I'm saying, being able to be in that position. And what Curry, what 36? If it, maybe 36, right? And for him to be the elder statesman, you know what I'm saying? Like in these joints, that's dope for real, in my opinion, because like that shows that these young niggas is really ready to take over these leagues and the main two sports that I focus on, like outside of like combat sports, you know what I'm saying? The NFL and the NBA. And a lot of these guys are, you know what I'm saying, people of color. And so I'm rocking out with that shit. But not to defer from my initial point. We talking the playoffs, and at the end of the day, my picks. Y'all let me know y'all's. You know what I'm saying? Comment down, of course. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try my best to respond to everybody. I always respond regardless of the time. I'm going to respond. Um, Comment down. Let me know who y'all got out of Boston and Miami. If anybody feel different about the Dallas and Golden State series, state your opinion in the comments. Let me know. I have no problem having anybody on to talk. Come holler at your boy. This the podcast about everything. Wasn't planning on being a long podcast today. Just want to talk some shit. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm on most platforms: Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. Look me up on IG, made underscore in underscore CMD, at made underscore in underscore CMD. I follow everybody back. It's all love. It's all peace. Peace and love. And we out of here.